Let's be friends. You only need what's best for you and not them. Don't pretend. Now I don't wanna lose sleep thinking about everything we could be. Let's just see what comes to be. She said we're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe. Just see it feels so good. Just see everything we believe. Just see everything we believe. Just see everything. Just see everything we believe. Just see everything. You seem so rehearsed, but do you really care? I always feel like you're never aware. You're a part of me, but we're so apart. Where is your heart? Now I don't wanna lose sleep thinking about everything we could be. Let's just see what comes to be. She said we're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe. Go outside, it feels so good. Just see
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pushing Media Season 2. We are finally here and getting things underway. Sorry for the slight delay. I will give it, it's my fault. Enigma was here, he was on time. Don't blame this handsome man. It was all me. But finally, as I said, season 2. It's time to kick things off. As you know, if you missed the announcement video, we have 3 different shows coming to you this season. We have the podcast back as usual, which we're kicking things off with today with a fantastic guest. We have our game show or slash gunfight show thing that we've got coming on Call of Duty. And of course, we have the truth that's coming back as well. But for season 2, the ever first episode of any of our shows, we're going to be sitting down and talking to Enigma. Man, how are you doing, brother?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. By the way, I've noticed that you weren't lying about the beard.
I told you, bro.
That's impressive, man. That's so impressive.
it's just that lockdown struggle.
Yeah. Like mine's messy at the minute, like, but yours is like properly like coming out. I can't get mine to do that.
I just had to cream this down, bro. It's usually I wake up looking so homeless. You don't understand, bro. I wake up looking so bad.
Yeah, I can't get mine to do that, man. Mine just kind of like fluffs out a bit here, and then that's it.
That's what I get. I literally have to. I sometimes use this bulldog, and literally just cream it down.
Yeah, one of my regular viewers sent me his like because he has like one of those where it's quite long. So he sent me like a thing that showed me like how he has all the different creams and everything. Like one hell of a procedure for sure.
Seriously. Creeper in the chat put Enigma. This guy looks like you're related. You never know. We could be cousins.
Yeah.
Also,
voices give it away. That's what it is. Both further up the country.
I don't think you can tell, man. This is what I mean. I just think you sound so near me. It's unreal.
Yeah. My accent's kind of like all over the Northwest. So like I guess it's just a big mix. But I think to be fair, yours isn't like extremely strong like Midlands either.
I'll take that. People just rag on that accent, so I'll take that as a victory, man. Of course, guys, as usual for this episode, as all episodes go when we're on a podcast or one-on-one talk, feel free to put any questions in the chat that relate to this one. Anything you want to know about him, anything you want to ask, as long as it's PG and it fits within the sort of area of what we're talking about, then by all means, feel free to let us know and ask away. However, though, for you, my good friend, explain to us how it is you got into gaming. Like, where was your first sort of okay, this is cool, like Twitch, all the stuff that you've been involved in?
So when I was younger, like in school, I was very good at Call of Duty. So I played the S&D scene for what it was back then. Like it could compare it back then. Like we're talking like Call of Duty 4, like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, that kind of days. So like compare that to now, it was tiny, really. There wasn't much to it, but like. So I loved it back then, but I was really good in school as well. And then, so my mum had like stopped me like gaming. She basically said like, you need to focus on school, stay on studying. So I stopped gaming at all from about the age of 16 till about 21. And then at the end of university, I started to get back into gaming a little bit. And then it was through actually watching a couple of things around Clayster, the Call of Duty player. And I was watching like ongoing things with him, and it just sparked my like competitive interest again and my love for like gaming and esports. And then when I came back into it and saw how much it developed, I was like, okay, this is what I want to be involved in.
Oh, man. So I mean, I think everybody sort of stems from Call of Duty. I don't think I've ever spoke to anybody in this scene that is like, yeah, I found my love in CS:GO, I found my love in League of Legends or whatever. I think it's just always mainly Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all first-person shooters. Like every esport I watch, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
first-person shooters. I get why there's other things you have to accommodate to other people, but for me, first-person shooters are like the epitome of like skill, reflexes, communicate. Everything's in there. Everything is in there at once.
So from going into Call of Duty, how was it? Well, first off, we'll talk about your organisation, which is still yours. Of course,
yes,
Animosity. Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Nick Lethal's in the chat. Take a look at this, man. This is how you look at one org instead of jumping around a million, my friend. This is how you do it. He's hiding that smile very, very quickly. Yeah, I'm only joking, Nick. You know it's all love. But yeah, Animosity, man. Where was your process to go into organisation owning then?
So I used to compete in a game called Destiny. And it's not an esport, but it hit a period of time where there was like MLG ladders, ESL tournaments, that kind of thing. And there was a lot of teams, and people would hop teams all the time. I'm not looking at you, Lethals. But people would hop teams like all the time. So like what I decided to do was like make my own side and then bring in players, and it just stuck around for ages. And then Destiny scene sort of filtered out a bit. So what I decided to do was pull in players from Call of Duty and make a Call of Duty animosity team, and then I bought proper branding and started to pull on staff, and it wasn't supposed to end up being an org, and all of a sudden it was. So yeah, it was really fun.
What was your main approach to it then? Just to like have a team or get a team that wasn't jumping from place to place?
You mean Anim as a whole or the Anim Destiny team?
As a whole. So obviously you said you didn't mean for it to be an organization. What was for you then? What was the end product of that?
So I mean, the idea in the end was that it would get to a point where it could bring in proper funding, but whilst I was like the period that we got to, we were just basically recruiting people based on just them being I guess like we liked to grab a captain, if you will, and like sit him down and just be like, right, you're in charge of your team. This is what, you are looking after this team. We'll back you, whatever your decisions are. And making sure that captain's the right person, and then giving them the time to grow and perform. Because what you see in a lot of teams, and it's still happening to this day, a team will get together, they play one event, they don't perform perfectly, which you're not going to when you're performing that quick, of that short period of time, and they split, which is ridiculous in my opinion. When I was competing in Destiny, we went from first round every tournament for like 3 months in a row to suddenly, we were appearing in quarterfinals, semifinals, so on, because we stuck together for a long, long time.
I get that. And then obviously turning it into the organization, I suppose that you found a whole new world within gaming, I can imagine, all different esports, everything.
1,000,000%. Like the only reason I even ended up picking up that Call of Duty team in the first place is because my mate messaged me and was like, hey, I've got a Call of Duty team. He used to compete in Destiny, then went to COD, and he was like, I love your branding and stuff. Can we represent you? And it snowballed from there.
Yeah.
But what I found over time was definitely like there's so many characters, so many things happened even over a short period of time. Like I've been to events with Jamie, who's in chat, Scott Rankin, who everyone knows. I've seen Lethals there. Like I went to so many events. I went to Ireland. I went to was it Paris? I went to and the people you meet are just insane. Like they're so like there's always a story to tell from an event.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it when everybody meets up, apart from when you meet Nick. I can imagine that weren't fun.
I don't think I've actually met Nick. I saw him at the last Call of Duty London event, but me and Scott had bought is it Wings?
Yeah.
Wings tickets? Because we just decided we were just going to chill with beer. Like we couldn't be bothered with like being on top of everyone. We were just going to sit, get drunk basically, and watch some Call of Duty. And he was down the bottom, so obviously we couldn't go down there. But yeah, I saw him walking around with like a couple of different.
So with
probably looking for like an August, at some point.
Yes.
Sorry, Nick, sorry. It's too easy, dude. It's too easy.
It really is. When you nick Lethals, it is easy. But with Animosity as a whole now, then where are you at with that? Obviously, you've been diving into a lot of streaming lately. You found great love and support in the streaming area. But with Animosity, where's your thoughts and love for that now?
So I want to save it for the right moment, the right time. So like I said, I kind of accidentally ended up there, and then I still have a drive to create a community, to try and perform at a gaming level as high as I can. I'm 26, so I've still got a few years yet in which I can at least try and react to people. So I kind of feel like on one side of things, like me inside, like I still want to try and push myself as a player as far as I can, as an entertainer, as a community builder, and so on. On the other hand, I personally think that running an organization requires a fantastically structured team with people who are willing to all chip in from different sides of the pot, as well as very, very good financial support. And I just didn't see that. I didn't see any of it around me in the scene. So I was like, I'm going to sit back, and then eventually the right opportunity will come my way. If it doesn't, it'll sit there for something else. But yeah, it will come back. It will come back one day. The branding's too good to leave there, dude. Like it is
nice. I like the color scheme you have.
Yeah, like it. We ended up with like a purple in the end, but it was never meant to be. Yeah, it was weird. It was supposed to be these colors, but like it ended up a purple. I don't even know how that happened. And then everyone loved it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with purple. I think every organisation known to mankind has always gone for the blue or red. I'm accustomed to it myself. With Future, I went for red. Nick loves everything blue. Socially, it's got the blue in there. Like Radiant had the red. I think it's just so red and blue in this organisation scene. But I'm glad that somebody went purple. Like Buzzkill is unique because it's yellow, because it stands out. Like if you was to look at your jerseys at an event, you'll think, yeah, purple, that stands out. That's animosity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I saw one other org wearing purple once, but that was like a bright purple. Like that was like Barney the Dinosaur kind of purple. So whereas we were, the shirts were fine. Their shirts were fine. They hadn't overdone it. But like, yeah, if they'd stuck a head on that guy, they'd definitely have got into the TV show. But like we kind of went like this. We tried to envelope this like royal kind of feel. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why, but that was kind of the conversation that was floating around all the time. And Nick, no, you cannot join Animosity.
You're in socially, bro. Stop trying to get into another home, man. Just stay where you are for at least 10 days, please.
Yeah.
So, as you said, with Animosity, it's definitely coming back one day in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, with your streaming schedule and your streaming, that's realistically what you dived into next. How's that going for you on a whole of streaming? I mean, you've got over 3,000 followers. You're definitely crushing it, like...
Yeah, so I think those numbers are a little bit skewed because those numbers still include like when I was streaming, doing tournaments and stuff before I did organization. So, but it is going well. Like it is definitely going well. Like I average like so. There's certain ways in which you can be a streamer. You can be a service streamer. You can be. I'm not sure if you have that in like Call of Duty, but I guess it'd be the equivalent of like carrying people through S&D wins and stuff like that. I guess like there's a thing like that in Destiny where you carry people through ranked, you carry people through what is the pinnacle PvP mode, and a lot of people try and make their name off of that. The problem is with most of that is it's very shallow, it's very short term viewership. Whereas my approach has been to build a community, which is considerably harder, but more rewarding in the sense of like you build genuine relationships with people. It's taking time, but I don't know. It's really good. I didn't expect to be here after a year. Like, we've recently moved to PC. We're looking to go dual setup very soon. We average around 20 viewers. But it's like, it doesn't matter what game I play. It doesn't matter what time of the day I'm on. The same people are there supporting all the time, which is, it's genuine, just love. So I'm very happy with where it's at and where it's going, yeah.
That's great, man. And if you think about, obviously, creating a community, something that a lot of people... I feel like that was such a olden thing to do, but it's good to see it again because a lot of people now are very stuck in their ways as, I hate to use the term, but it's so true. Like, in Call of Duty, you have your circles and stuff. Like, everybody has their own circles and everything. So, with your community, what's like the whole plan for that? Like, just to actually build like a whole community for a certain thing or for everything?
For honestly, for everything. Like, so we have a Discord, for example, and there's a couple of content creators in there, like, people who are just starting fresh, who we've helped get to affiliate. We don't do like a follow for follow kind of bullshit. We don't do, you have to be viewing such a thing. We just create almost like a giant friendship group. And off the back of that, people then support one another. At the end of the day, we're all into gaming in one form or another. So, I've played multiple different games now, and what I found is like the people who've come in through Destiny have come in, and then I'll find people from Call of Duty, they'll come in, but these people end up crossing over in conversation and talking all the time. Then they get to know each other, then they're playing together, and yeah, it's just about making, I guess, like a giant. It's cheesy, but like a family. Like there's, I don't know, it's like a group of people where if I was to turn around and say, hey, who wants to play X? I've got people who are going to play and chill for the night and have a laugh and a joke, and
that's all run. Is that all run for Discord?
It's a mix. So like I'm mostly active on Twitter, as you've probably seen. Yeah, usually shouting at someone. But yeah, Discord's definitely a great place to go. But it's just the Twitch as well is heavily based around being like interactive. Like a lot of I'm playing Valorant at the minute, so that's an exception because I'm focused on not. I'm focused on not getting one tapped, so I'm not as conversational. But for example, the other day we played Sims, and it was me and my girlfriend, and we were playing Sims. and the entire chat is just conversation. You know, what have you been up to? How's your day? You know, what kind of games you've been playing? Just I don't know, just getting to interact with people like a normal fucking person, I guess. Pardon my French, but like
Now you're allowed to
I
swear,
don't
don't
know.
worry, bro.
All right, okay. But one of the things that really annoys me is just like it. It's super cliche, but a lot of people see viewers in their chat and they just see a name and a number, and it's like these. I don't know, if I'm in someone's chat and I'm sat on Twitch, I want that person to recognize me. You know, I want that person to know me. I go into streams. If I'm in a big stream, I never talk because there's no point.
Yeah.
If I go into a smaller stream, I want that viewer to interact with me and try to build a relationship. So that's what I hope to do with my streams for the people who come and be a part of the family.
That's awesome, man. And of course, they're called the Unbroken.
Yes, they are. I can see the emblems in chat because I've just looked over.
Explain that name to me then.
Okay, so in Destiny, there's a ranked mode, and there's like they call them seals, and it's basically like it's a title. It's a way of showing off achievements. You equip them to your character. You do a certain amount of things. So like you get, I don't know, let's pretend I can't remember. You hit like the top rank in the game for 3 different seasons.
Yeah.
You get a certain amount of kills. You get a certain amount of this, that, and the other. It's basically the highest. At the time, it was the highest available PvP recognition you could get. So it's supposed to be like the pinnacle people in the game, basically the best PvP players in the game. So I kind of I completely stole it from that. There's no kind of, and I just took it as like, we are the Unbroken. We're like the best kind of thing. It just got thrown out there and then it ended up sticking. So yeah, that unfortunately there's no like divine inspiration about that, but like yeah, it just stuck. The cool thing is though, so like for example, Bungie like sell these things.
Yeah.
So that's like the actual Unbroken seal from the game. So that's like how it's dusty as fuck, but like that's like our like, you can see the emblem in chat, and that's like our badge now that we can sit behind, and that's like our banner kind of thing.
All right, I'm with it. So mainly your game then is Destiny, I'm guessing. That's the main sort of thing where it all comes from.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. It's been out now for 5.5 years, and I'd say 95% of my gaming time over that period has been Destiny. So yeah, it's one of those things. In a couple of years' time, people are going to be like, "Where the fuck does that come from?" I'm like, "Oh, you remember that game that no one plays anymore? Yeah, it's from there." Whereas
the game.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that game that no one wants to talk about? That one, it came from there. But like, I don't know, like a lot of the original community, like I can see people in chat, like you've got Daniel, you've got Hellhound, Squazy, Perky, Sean, Creeper. I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone else, but like they're all originally from Destiny. So yeah, the core of the community is 1,000,000% from there.
And in obviously your community of the Unbroken, how many members do you have now?
There's no like official thing. I think the Discord's at like 120 people. You know, the Twitter's always really active. It's one of those like there's no I guess there's no like official in or out. I guess like if you're in the Discord, you sub, you're kind of elevating yourself a level by supporting more. But like it's just people who support really and who want to be connected. Like I've got friends who are streamers of their own who I consider a part of the Unbroken because they're regularly taking involved in community events. They're in the streams. They just know everyone. And everyone gets on as like this big friendship group. So, yeah. Oh, Big E's in there as well. There's another one from the Destiny scene.
So it's sort of just like a thing where anybody's welcome from any form of game community, like anything like that.
Yeah, basically, it's just the basic rule is just don't be a dick. Like if you come in and you're an asshole, you'll get thrown straight out. Like 1,000,000%. Like. And we've had that in the past, and we just volleyed people straight out, and we're like, sorry, you're not for us. Like, I don't know, like you know how it is. You've been gaming for a long time. It's so hard to find a group of people who just share the enjoyment of gaming, whether that be PvP, PvE. You know, if you've been a PvP guy yourself, right? You spend most of the time involved in egoing and bitching and backstabbing and all that crap. And it's just like, you know what? Why don't we play PvP at a higher level, but actually all be friends? Like, why don't we try that? Like, it's much nicer that way and much better.
I think we can rule Call of Duty out on that one. That scene will, the whole of that will just never change. I mean, it just working in Call of Duty for how long I have now. It's even as a caster, I can still see it's like the amount of toxicity, sorry, and like bitching and egoing, as you said, it's tough. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems with that is that you mentioned it before with the circles thing. So like,
yeah,
because people are embedded in these circles, the people in the top circles set basically the standard for
yeah,
everyone else. And because they're usually full of twats, you usually get a lot of them coming up through the as well. Like the whole ego thing just makes me laugh because it often costs teams. Like I've seen so many good teams fall apart because of like this kind of stuff. And then what I end up seeing is like because somebody knows somebody, they pick him up for their team. It's like yeah, but it's making your team worse because he's not a very good player. Yeah, no, you're right about Call of Duty. It's got issues. Like,
it's got major issues, brother.
I'd love to see how like certain even up to the even in through the pro levels, like there's some players, and I'm just stunned that they don't get a bigger chance and they don't get picked over certain content creators purely because of friendships. And it's like that's you're at a professional level earning hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like at some point you've got to take the result over the friendship. Like definitely.
Completely agree. So of course with the Unbroken, that's like the end game for you. I can imagine like just to have a nice settled community, no matter how many members, etc., no matter where from, whatever, what game, just to have like a blessed community that help each other out and push each other further and further.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Like the best thing about the Unbroken is quite often when I've not checked Discord for the day or I've been busy or whatever, and then I've come in and they're all like they've all like in one of the channels, like a couple of them have teamed up together to go and complete some quest or mission or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got other people helping people out. You've got people trying to fix PC problems and people have hopped in to help them. And then I come in, it's like this entire functioning group, and I've not been like we're running an org. You have to hold hands with people a lot.
Yeah.
You have to be like, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and it gets. Whereas I feel like when you build like a genuine group of people who just get on, then they'll figure it out themselves, and it's really cool to see. It's I don't know, like I don't even know how we've ended up at this place, to be honest, because I didn't do anything special. Like it's just cool when I walk in and it's like someone's found out that they've fried their 300 quid CPU and people have banded together and just like sorted him out, and it's just like the kind of crazy stuff that goes on is just nuts.
That's amazing. What was it that made you want to start this?
So I'd shut down Animosity, and then I was just gaming, right? And I was just doing that thing where you get in from work and you just game, right? But man, I was getting out of shape. Like mentally and physically. Like mentally, I was becoming so lax. Like I was lazy. Like I was getting in and I was just switching off. Mm-hmm. I'd stopped going to the gym. I was eating badly, and I was like, I have got to find a way of being productive. I've got to do something again. But the reason why I'd stopped streaming in the first place is because I'd gotten bored of all the egoing. The tournaments in Destiny had died. There wasn't really much left for me to come back to, kind of thing. And I was like, well, if I'm going to start completely from scratch, why don't I try a different route? Why don't I, one of the things that I've loved most about Destiny is, when you sit and think back over years, the people you've played with and had fun nights with and stayed up till 5 a.m. with. And I was just like, why don't I just try and make a group of friends and just see how that goes? And yeah, it slowly turned into, all right, we've gone from 5 people in the Discord to, oh shit, we're up to 50 people in the Discord. And it just works its way from there, basically.
That's awesome, man. A chat we had in the question earlier from Nick was, where do you think you would be now if you didn't create Animosity?
I don't think I would be in as good a position as I am in now, 1,000,000%, because the Animosity not only helped me meet a lot more people and try and understand different people in esports as a whole. I think that I would probably, I don't know, I might not have even stepped back into content creation, to be honest. I might have just, because I was burnt out when I came to running anime. I was like burnt out from competing in Destiny tournaments myself. So I was like done, really. So I don't know, maybe I might not be in gaming. I don't know. Look, honestly, I was kind of done, and then I was just like, oh fuck, I'll do this thing that kind of come my way. and rolled with it. So yeah, that's I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that at
It's a
all.
hard question to ask.
Yeah, that is a good question.
It is a very
Yeah,
hard question.
I guess I don't know. I could be anywhere between not gaming or just like gaming very casually and still being that guy who just gets in and necks down a bag of Dairy Milk buttons whilst he's playing a game of Call of Duty.
Would you say that animosity led you to where you are now and created you in the gaming personality you have now, would you say?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Like it's definitely been a part of it. Like I think I don't know, as I get slightly older, and I think this and everyone experiences this, you start to realize that all your different experiences combine to make you a better person. Well, hopefully a better person. And like I don't know, it's definitely helped me so much. Like I don't know, like I've actually had an organizer, well, a group that's putting together an organization come to me for advice. So again, and they're a group of people that have supported me in the past and hopefully will into the future. And they pulled me in and said, do you mind giving us some advice on how to set this up properly and how to do this properly? So even just stuff like that would never have happened without Adam. Not a chance.
That's amazing. Of course, obviously, those sort of things do lead you to where you are now. But of course, I mean, you've got your hands in a lot of things. You've got your hands in a lot of things. You've got animosity, you've got competing, you've got your streaming, you've got the Unbroken, which, I mean, fits into your streaming. What is... it's going to be quite hard for you to answer, I think. What is the end game for you? Like, which one do you see yourself doing in the end result of everything?
I don't think I usually do this through process of elimination, right? So I'm 26, right? I'm 26, so I think I can rule out competing. All right, like Destiny isn't getting an esports scene, whilst a none. Never mind, but like the Destiny is not getting an esports scene, no matter what. It just isn't. So that we can rule that one out. Anything that does have an esports scene, I'd have to go in starting fresh. So I'm 26. That's not going to happen. I'm just not going to get there in time. Like I'm not. Like my reaction times are going to be slow by the time I get to any sort of level. And it's one of those. Well, am I even good enough? I don't know. I probably not. So we'll rule that one out. So, Orgona, I think that's for way later. Like that one for me is sat on the way back burner. Like that's sat for like when I've got plenty of spare cash. I've got a lot of friends around who also have a lot of spare cash, and we I can pull in. Passionate people who want to. I'm thinking like Bulldog Newts kind of age. Like, I'm chilled, and I've got people around me who I can go, right, let's us 5 get together and make something cool. So for me, I think I'd love to be a content creator full time. I'd love that. If I could do that, that'd be a dream come true. I really, really enjoy streaming. Obviously, I really enjoy gaming, and this is the way I can game most. I've never really YouTubed. The only times I've really done any highlights, it's been a bit crap, but maybe that's just because I just don't know YouTube yet. But yeah, I think if I could be a full-time streamer, I think that would be a dream, an absolute dream.
Talking in terms of YouTube, is that something that you would get into then? Or is that sort of just like not your style?
I'd love to, because I have a lot of opinions. And sometimes those are very controversial opinions.
Yeah.
The thing is with YouTube is it takes YouTube is extremely clickbaity and extremely just like bullshit. Like there's no like, whereas Twitch is genuine. You can build genuine connections with people, whereas in YouTube I feel like you're just trying to bait people in for a couple of views, and I'm not willing to sell my soul for that. Like, so if I can find a way of doing it legitimately and being like, hey, here's some really cool content. Like we've got a guy in the Destiny scene, and basically Destiny is supposed to be this story, this world, right?
Yeah.
Except all of the lore and all of the story are on cards that you have to access on your PC. And no idea why. So there's a content creator, and what he does is he makes extremely high quality videos digging into all of this and joining up all the dots and stuff. That for me is genuine content.
Yeah.
Whereas when I look on YouTube, 95% of it is, oh my God, what did I have for breakfast today? And I'm like, who cares? Why do you have 1 million views on this? Like, so for me, it's about finding the right way in. And it's a lot harder than it has been for me on Twitch.
So in terms of like vlogging, YouTube and stuff, without clickbaiting, would you say that vlogging is something that is appealing to you?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. We need to be allowed out of our house first. But like, yeah. So the thing with vlogging is it would be really cool to do. And one of the things I really love. Did you ever watch Nade Shots vlogs when 100 Thieves were first like becoming like the big esports team that they
Yeah.
are? Yeah. So those kind of things really interest me, and like the ongoings of like a scene and stuff. Um, that's definitely interesting. But at the minute, I definitely don't have time. Not with full time work. But I don't know. Maybe someday soon. Maybe someday in the future, I'll find a way of like getting into it. But I don't want it to be like, again, I don't want it to be vlogging like what I ate for my
Yeah.
3 meals today. I want it to be like, this is something cool that we did. The FaZe guys, they all have like these LA houses with Lamborghinis and skateboards and swimming pools in their back garden, and you're like, oh, that's nice and everything, but it's a lot of people aren't in that scenario. So it's how to create that really cool
Yeah.
content from our position.
What is it you do full time work, if you don't mind saying?
I work in SEO, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just fancy online marketing. Yeah, helping businesses rank well in Google because it's worth a lot of money. So it's like it's one of those things that in a couple of years will be, I imagine in 10 years, it'll be the norm. It'll be the normal marketing. But right now it's kind of like companies are catching on kind of thing.
Is that something you do from home?
Well, obviously recently, but
Yeah.
like, no, generally in the office, you could do it from home, 1,000,000%. There's no reason you couldn't do the job from home. But so the agency I work for, we create campaigns rather than just, we're a massive agency in our field. And so, what we do is, I don't know, let's say you own a trainer company, right? Like, congratulations, you now own Nike. Right.
Yeah.
Well done. You're fucking rich. You come to me and you say Adidas rank first for trainers, and that is worth 50 million quid a day. We're into position 2, and we're only getting 10 million quid. What do we do in order to get that position? So what we would do is we'd look at your site, we'd improve it, improve that, and we'd also create campaigns in which are like linked back to basically that's how Google will rank your website. Like, you can trick the Google bot in a way. It's not really tricking it. It's what Google wants you to do. But it's just that. And then you get to position 1, you're making a lot of money, and then you pay us a lot of money. That's the idea.
Is that something that you found that helped you with like animosity and that then?
We never got to website stage, but if it was going to get to that stage, then yeah, 1,000,000%. Like, there's just so many small things that would give you an advantage in that would add up if you're running a website. Radiant Nova, he knows a little bit of SEO, and he applied it to the Radiant Esports website back when. Well, he's no longer Radiant Nova, is he? Because they're dead now. But like, he applied it to their website back in the day and was ranking number 1 for, I think it was esports. So if so, then that's nuts. That's insane. So that would drive so much traffic, which then results in ad revenue. It's huge.
Okay. So obviously with that, and then you're streaming, obviously you do have a streaming schedule, I believe. You do, don't you?
Yeah, so my current stream schedule is Sunday 5 p.m. onwards, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 9 p.m. onwards. UK times, obviously.
You start streaming that late? How long do you go for?
3 to 4 hours. Like, it's the only time I've got because like if you get up like and you work, you get in, you gym, you eat.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's just so hard. And also, like, a lot of my viewers are American, so if I'm on till, if I start earlier, they wouldn't be able to watch.
Is that so? Most of the Unbroken American then, or?
I'd say it's kind of like a 60-40 split. I'd say like 60% are UK, 40% are American or other. But yeah,
That's
like, it was just the way it worked out. Cause like, I think it comes from, so how in COD you have the NA scene and the EU scene, different places completely. In Destiny, they used to be merged. So I ended up knowing a lot of American people and getting to play with them and interact with them and so on. And I think I just ended up luckily being put in front of a lot of American faces back when I used to compete a lot. So I think that it kind of dragged on from that. It's like a trickle on effect.
Yeah.
And when I was originally started streaming, I was streaming at like 7 to like 10. And I go to the gym afterwards, but we kind of realized that a lot of people couldn't get in for that time. So yeah, moved them back. The bags under the eyes are there for a reason, dude, and they're only getting bigger.
I mean, likewise, that's why I moisturise, so you can't see. I think I've literally been going
Yeah,
to sleep at like 8 in the
bulldog
morning.
cream, right? Bulldog cream.
Seriously, bro. Everybody go buy it if you got your bags. Just me, it's a saver.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sleep
Code
at
Connor
8.
Mez for 10% off.
I mean, Bulldog, if you're watching by any chance, like, feel free. You can sponsor your boy. I'm on numerous shows. I can plug you anywhere and everywhere, my boys.
Yeah. I can see you shining, to be fair. Like, you got a little bit of shine going.
I appreciate that, man. It's the Bulldog, man. I can't take it all away. I can't just say it's my good looks. It's the Bulldog, man. So with streaming, then what comes next for you? Obviously, you're streaming. What's the jump that you think you have to take to go to your end goal, if you know what I mean?
So the stream's slowly growing. It's taken it. So I've moved to mouse and keyboard. So I've gone from like a very high end player to a very low end player because obviously you got to learn how to mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But the stream was going up very slowly on Destiny, and what I decided was when I moved to mouse and keyboard, I'm gonna change everything up. So obviously the performance levels come down, but they'll go back up eventually. But I want to get into multiple communities. So Valorant, Call of Duty, Destiny. I want to be a part of all of these different things. So variety streaming is for me like the next step, and then getting my performance levels back up is the next step. And because I feel like I'm quite interactive and at least good at being kind of entertaining. I'm not a ninja, but I can do an okay job. So I think that basically once I can combine all these factors and then, just work hard on digging deeper into these communities, then yeah, I think that we can do some really cool shit. I don't know, the next big step for me. So like, let's say it's years down the line and I've still not made it to like full time or anything like that. I think what I would do is take a gamble and I'd save up money enough so that I could like comfortably support myself for a long period of time, maybe a year or so. And then just take a gamble and just be like, yo, I'm going to try this full time for a year. If it doesn't work, I'm done. And if it works, it works and I'm living the dream. And if it doesn't, then fuck it. I tried, right? I go back to just chilling and doing like casual stuff and maybe part-time streamings for me.
I think that's the best thought process I've had talking to somebody. Seems like you've actually got your head screwed on, so I'm thankful for Paul picking me a guest that has their head screwed on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll take that as a compliment.
I think that's the smartest way. And obviously with Animosity, as you said, you're going to venture back down that line way on. Yeah.
I think the idea is just to pull together I would love to, like, for example, right, I'm these people might not be around by the time I get to them, but let's say I managed to grab me, Jamie, Radiant Nova, yourself, Bulldog, and we all pulled together, right? And we were like, all right, we've got X amount of money that we can put in per month between us. We know how to brand. We know how to find teams. We know how to get into the scene. Let's dominate. Let's put this together, squash our egos, dominate the amateur scene, get ourselves some sponsorship, and get up into the higher leagues. Find ourselves some proper good content creators and do all these things and graft and commit. The hard thing in that is definitely the ego bit, 1,000,000%. You got a lot of cooks in one kitchen. Like that's going to be hard. And then it's the money. Like, because I had so many people, and you probably had the same, where they'd rock up and they'd be like, I can give you 200 quid a month. And you're like, brilliant. First month, 100 quid. Second month, they leave the org. And you're like, okay, well, fuck you, dude. Like, you need to have like people who are like thinking years ahead. You're like, we've got this plan in place and we're going to stick at it until it works. And I don't know, the amateur scene for me, what you've got in the amateur scene is a lot of individuals who are very good, but they're running their own thing. And then they surround themselves with people who are amateurs for a reason quite often. Like, as harsh as that is. Yeah. So what you end up with instead is like people who are like the good people who are seeing none of the potential happen because they're surrounded by people who are, they've been full-time esporting for the last 10 years and they're still in amateur level.
I mean, I literally completely agree. And that seems to usually be the yes men as well that get surrounded in that circle. Obviously, when I think I wouldn't say I did because I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I'd say when I had Future, I definitely had a few yes men around me, which is what I didn't need. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I don't do it anymore. I don't like. Fair play to you that you want to go back into it. For me, I just can't do it anymore. I ain't got the patience for it or the level.
Yeah. No, I think I understand you completely from that point of view, though, because I don't want to get into it in the amateur scene. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain people that I would pick out of it. I would cherry pick the best, and I would leave that crap behind, and I just dominate it from a distance. I'd be like, I'm not involved with any of that. I just want to dominate it and get enough sponsorship to step up to the pro level. That's what I would want to do with Animosity. Like that. I don't see the point in, no offense to them, but these like leagues where it's like, take part and you can, it's, I forget what they're called, but like you've got 64 teams and then the best one wins. And it's like, I'm not interested as an org owner in funding a team through that. I'm not. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work, and it's just not worth anyone's time really, apart from the players who are improving. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the idea for me is just a far-fetched dream, but we'll see.
Jesus Christ! Sorry if you can hear that beeping, people on the stream.
It's all right. What's going on?
I don't even know. Someone just going down my road, beeping their horn off, like going absolutely mad.
I think it's the first time he's been out of his house in a while. Like, absolutely loving it.
Fair play to the man. Oh, actually, I think it makes. Wait, yeah, it's the NHS Thursday 8 o'clock clap, isn't it?
Right.
That's why I
Yeah,
believe, because we're
enough.
1 minute out. Guys, of course, in the chat, as I said, feel free to put your questions in as we start to wrap up the end of this episode for Season 2. So, as I said, if you have any questions for this beautiful man, feel free to drop them in now. Ask him anything. Just keep it PG. It's all we ask.
Yeah. they're getting a free Ask Me Anything here. So I have a Ask Me Anything stream. They're basically getting free ones right here. So
You know what I mean? This is your concept. You pass. You ain't gonna
Yeah,
give a lot
exactly.
out. You ain't gonna give a lot out, so you might as well take it now while it's here.
Yeah.
With the streaming, a question I want to ask you, seeing as you're so, invested into what you want to do into the streaming, do you feel that going from game to game affects your stream?
Do I feel like it affects it?
Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah,
it's
1
a
minute,
drop?
1 million%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So my average viewership on Destiny is typically about 20 into the early 20s. If I play Valorant, for example, I'm probably mid-teens. If I play Warzone, I'm probably lower than that. But that for me is like part of it. Like, I feel like I've got to, when you're a streamer, as much as you want everyone to support you no matter what, you've got to remember that people are there as well for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like watching League of Legends. If I had a viewer, if I had someone who I regularly watch go and start playing League of Legends, I'd be like, well, I'm not really interested. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just not going to tune in for this. So people are more than entitled to do that. And what I feel like it's the responsibility of the streamer to find people who enjoy watching that. Like, when I first started streaming Warzone, I think I had like 4 viewers. I now get up to about 10 to 12, but that's because people who've become a part of the community now are people who like Call of Duty. Yeah. So it's, it definitely happens, but it's the only person who is responsible for that is the streamer. Like, it's not on the viewers.
Completely agree. And my final question I have for you is, the Unbroken, is this sort of a business that you think you can take long term and create something out of it?
I haven't thought of that. I hadn't thought of them as like a business, but I
Is that like a community YouTube? Everybody uploads their own places, their own videos, a place to go to watch different content, etc.
Yeah.
I might have just gave you a brilliant idea.
No, yeah. So like the one of the things that we do is we help people hit affiliate and stuff like that. Yeah. You might have given me a good idea actually, but like, no, I think that I don't know, the content creators that I rally around the most are those that are genuine and help their community. Yeah. Right. So like they have something to offer. Like just because they're nice, like just because they do. Like, one of the biggest content creators in Destiny is the biggest content creator. Sorry, the biggest content creator in Destiny is the biggest content creator because he spends there's community events in the game. He went without sleep for like 3 days to try and help solve this giant puzzle thing. And only, don't get me wrong, it's good content for him, but he was really, because like if they completed that puzzle, the community gets something out of it.
Yeah.
So everyone rallies behind him because like it's like you're doing this thing for us. So I feel like if you create a group of people where it's all helping each other, then yeah, there's no reason why it can't do well and succeed. And not just for me, like for quite a few of the people inside. Like there's a couple of people who've started streaming within the community who've gone on to, who are doing well because they, you know, they're also kind people who, you know, just want to have a laugh with everyone who's involved, or I don't know, like there's always like trials carries comp help, which is ranked, and yeah, just, you know, if you're giving me a good idea actually off the back of what you just said, so I'm kind of trying to mentally.
He's gonna go away now and just create a massive plan.
Yeah, basically. But like I don't know. Like for me, it's a case of it just being a group of friends, and if they support, then that's even better. And what you usually find with friends, like I've got loads of friends, right? I usually don't care about their content that much, but I drop in and I sub and I support, and I'm a part of it because they're my friend and I'm going to support them on that no matter what they do. And that's kind of what I want everyone here to have and have access to. And it's hard to find in the online world, right? Like Twitter's full of like pricks, right? Like it is.
Yeah.
So, and so are Facebook groups and so are Discords. And it's hard to find like just a group of people who just like want a game. And if I can create that and a lot of people can find themselves safe in there and just enjoy it, then if I get support from that, great. If not, then it's done something cool at least.
Completely agree. As I said, guys, seeing as we don't have any questions in the chat, we are going to start to wrap this up now. I didn't even see what Chris Stout put in the chat. Circles ruin everything. I'm more of a square, man. That is the way to be.
I don't know what that one means, to be honest.
So it was on about circles earlier.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm more of a square, man, as in he's just not involved.
Yeah, no, like definitely avoid that crap. Like the so many people, as well as, so I used to be in quite a privileged position in the Destiny community because I was a bit older than everyone else. People and like I wouldn't shame people, I wouldn't put DMs out on Twitter, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would get so many people run to me and show like the kind of backstabbing that's going on, the bullshit that's going on. I've seen so many great teams and great people become undone. Samo. Become undone by the by egos, by being a bitch, basically. Yeah. Like I find it, I always wonder which people would have made it and which people wouldn't have done if it hadn't been for circles and all the politics that come with them.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. It would have been interesting to see, but due to the just stupidity and toxic energy that was created, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, no, 1,000,000%. Like there's, I don't know, like you're always going to get it to an extent, I guess. The problem is like the top people do it. It's like the people at the top, they sit in their circle, right?
Do you have that in Destiny?
Say that again?
Do you have that in Destiny?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And the thing is with Destiny as well, like it was worse in a way because official recognition. Like your name was based on, like, I have beaten so many people who, like back in the tournament days, that would be like, if you were to put, if like I had it the other day, I had a guy turn around and say such a body's better than you, and I'm like, I beat that person every single time I played them, like without fail.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not slandering that guy, but the only reason that person has got that name is because of the friends they have.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, if you looked on paper and you put the results up against one another, only one person's coming away from that the better player. Mm-hmm. So like, we used to get that so much in the Destiny scene because the only way to really stand above the crowd was by having mates. There was no pro scene. There was no, there was nothing really to aim towards. So once you were at the top, it was all about who could be the bigger mouthpiece, really.
Really agree. The last question in the chat, I don't know what it means, but I'm guessing you do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on becoming a Fieldmaster?
Honestly, I'm honored. Like, it's the best day of my life, the day that you asked me to join the Field Masters, and I'm just super proud to be there now. So, yeah, To be honest, I don't even know how to explain that story to you. We were playing Pummel Party, and I don't even know what it is. I don't know. I teamed up with him in a game of Pummel Party because he was getting ganged on by 6 other people, and then it ended up 6-on-2, so we still got ganged. But it was a good laugh. It was definitely a good laugh.
And you said getting ganged wasn't fun.
I'm not PG stream, right? PG.
Of course, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the first episode of season 2. Though, I mean, and thank you for taking the time out, brother, and coming on and talking. You're a very knowledgeable man, and I'm interested to see what you can do in the future, man.
Thank you very much for your time. Same, likewise. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do, dude.
I'll definitely keep an eye on you. You've opened my eye to a new world. Let's say that. But of course, guys, if you do if you don't already follow Enigma, then you're living under a rock. Make sure you go do it now. Of course, Pusher Media just put his Twitter in the chat. On his pinned tweet, you can find everything there. The Unbroken Discord, his Instagram, his YouTube, his Twitter. Anything else on there? Did I hit the nail on the head?
I don't. Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah,
I'm gonna quickly check. I just want to know if I got that right.
There's a Facebook page, but no one talks on
that. There's a Facebook page. I missed that one. So you got his Twitch, you've got his Unbroken Discord, you've got the YouTube, the Facebook, and the Instagram as well as his streaming schedule. Of course, make sure you pop into his streams, support this man, give him a follow. It goes a long way in the grand scheme of things, more than you ever realise. Even a simple hello, he will talk to you back. He's a very interactive guy. But for me, yeah, again, man, thank you for taking the time out to come on and being our first guest for season 2.
Not a problem, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Any parting words?
Stay home and wash your hands. There you go.
Told you he's a knowledgeable man, people. Knowledgeable man. But if you guys don't know what Pushing Media is, you can scroll down below. Click the panels. We've got About Us. We've got Donations. Skip that one if you want. We've got the YouTube. And, of course, that About Us will take you to our Twitter. Of course, on this show, I can say we run 3 different episodes. We have this podcast show, the one-on-one talk. We have The Truth, where we out people for lying on the timeline and we put them in a conversation, the one-on-one. And of course, we've got the Gunfight 2v2 show as well that is going to be starting up very, very soon. But of course, from us here today, that's going to be a good night. Thank you to everybody tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.